We all have parents and family members that love us, look after us, and make sure we are safe. I'm a parent myself, and I've always looked after my two kids while they were growing up. With them being young adults now, I still care and worry about them. I can't imagine losing a child. I hope it never happens to me. And if one went missing, I would never stop looking for them. And I have family members and friends who will help me in the search. The story I'm about to tell you is a sad one. It involves a boy believed to be between 11 to 14 years old who was found dead floating in a pond by two individuals near Daytona Beach, Florida in 1972. Here are some composites of the boy to what he might have looked like when alive. My question is, why hasn't anyone claimed him? It has been 50 years already. Did his family ever stop looking for him? He is someone's son, brother, uncle, friend, and student. Surely he must be missed by someone. He needs his name back, and the perpetrators who killed him need to face justice, if still alive. This is a story of the Volusia County John Doe of 1972. Hello friends, and welcome again. On this video, we are going to the outskirts of Daytona Beach, Florida, in a pond right off Indian Lake Road and less than 3 miles north of US 92. I think this might be the pond where he was found by two motorcyclists who were exploring this area on a Sunday, May 7th of 1972. This area is remote, and the main access to the pond is a dirt road, so it was secluded back in 72. At first, the two motorcyclists thought that the person was swimming, but upon closer examination, they found a half-clothed floating body of a male that wasn't moving at all. In the familiar smell of death, they immediately called police. The body was brought into the medical examiner to find the cause of death. It was determined that the body was a young white male, and it was believed at the time that he was between 15 to 20 years old. The young man had 3 stab wounds on his chest and 3 more on his left leg and 1 on his stomach, and the likely weapon was a huge pocket knife. And he may have been sexually assaulted. There were no signs of a struggle near the crime scene and no traces of blood suggesting that he may have been killed at a different location and thrown in the pond. However, a green Schwinn bicycle that was reportedly stolen on May 3rd and several empty beer cans were found near the body, but they could be unrelated to his murder. He had been dead for at least 3 days, was severely decomposed and unrecognizable. It was so bad that they couldn't even get fingerprints, but the examiners determined that he had brown hair, perfect teeth, and was well nourished. He had medical conditions that he may or may not have been aware of, like a benign tumor in his right leg, and his pubic area was shaved, which could mean that he was a victim of a pedophile. The young man stood at 5 foot 2 inches and weighed 120 pounds. When he was found floating, he was wearing a maroon red and white striped short-sleeved knit shirt on the body, and a pair of purple and gray tweed pants had nearly been pulled off, suggesting a sexual assault. In the back left rear pant pocket, a black wallet was found containing $6.17 with paint flecks on it. Scattered near the crime scene were a blue denim jacket, brown dress socks, and one size 8.5 black loafer dress shoe with a silver buckle on the side. Authorities did the best they could to identify this young man. Newspaper articles, posters, police blotters, and TV and radio reports were brought to the public, but no one came forward to claim him. So he was eventually buried at Cedar Hill Cemetery in Daytona. But it doesn't end here. The case was reopened 41 years after he was found, and on November 13, 2013, in hopes of collecting DNA and to create a more accurate digital facial reconstruction, his body was exhumed for a better examination. This time they concluded that he was likely between 11 to 14 years of age, much younger than originally suspected, and he was a native of Florida. DNA was collected, but it was unusable at that time. This story reminds me a lot of the boy in a box case in Pennsylvania in 1957, which is still unsolved, even with worldwide attention. I want to bring more attention to this poor boy who probably was abused and neglected in his short life. So many questions and theories, so let's talk about them. A stolen bicycle was found near the crime scene. Why did the thief place it there? Was it there before the boy was thrown in the pond? There were no reports of footprints or tire tracks in the area where he was found. How can a stolen bike and a dead body show up in the same area at close to the same time? Is it possible that the boy stole the bike or bought the bike from the thief and rode it to the area only to meet unsavory characters that did him in? If this was true, there would be evidence of a struggle. How about the empty beer cans scattered all about? Was this secluded area used as a hangout for transients and criminals? Online detectives have theorized that the boy may have been a victim of a pedophile ring and was done away by his perpetrators because he was growing older and not attracting paying customers who prefer younger boys. This would explain why his pubic hair was shaved off to look more like a 9-year-old. Another theory is that he was released from a nearby juvenile detention center because he fit the age group that were housed there and someone was murdered by either a family member or a sexual predator. So who was this boy, and what kind of life did he have? Was he an innocent boy who met up with the wrong people? Or was he a troublemaker who hung out with other delinquents or criminals that brutally murdered him? How come no one is looking for him? Surely he must be missed. Where are his parents, siblings, relatives, friends, or teachers? He is a human being. Bad or not, someone is missing him and may be wondering what happened to him. And where could he be? Well, he was here and he existed. If anyone of you know of a boy that fit this profile, and it could be your son, brother, friend, or whatever, that suddenly vanished in Florida in 1972, please call your local authorities. Enough time has passed. That is it for now for the Volusia County John Doe. Please hit like and subscribe so I can do more stories like this. Thank you, and I'll be back soon.